I would like to invite Mr. Massoud Zabeti, President of the Anglo-Iranian Lawyers Association, to take the floor.
Sisters, brothers, ladies and gentlemen, friends, thank you for that warm welcome. Can I start by expressing my immense gratitude to the heroes that we have sitting alongside us here, who have stood and stand with the Iranian people on the march to freedom. I cannot tell you how much your support, unwavering support, your energy, your love for the Iranian people and for everything that we seek to achieve, how much that means to Iranians, not only around the world, but inside Iran, who watch your every step, your every activity, listen to your every word that you utter. Thank you so much. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Mrs. Maryam Rajavi for her leadership, her steadfastness, her resistance, and her sacrifice for well over 45 years for the Iranian people. Mrs. Rajavi, I want to tell you that the world needs your leadership more than ever before. And if there is one fact of which I am certain, it is that you will lead the Iranian people to democracy and eliminate the greatest threat to the world and the entire Middle East region. I also can't stand up here without mentioning our sisters and brothers in Ashraf 3. We love you all, and we are so proud of everything that you do for us every single day. Now, moving on, I want to be quick, but I wanted to share with you some further significant news of 18 very senior US dignitaries and 17 European dignitaries who've also signed a public statement on the occasion of the World Day Against the Death Penalty. In that statement, and I will read some of the names so you can see the dignitaries involved, but they warn of the grave dangers and the grave massacres that are unfolding for political prisoners in Iran. They draw attention to the 17 political dissidents accused of membership of the PMOI who face imminent executions, very well described by others as our heroes. The letters also condemn the Iranian regime for using the death penalty as a weapon of terror to seek to suppress and silence the Iranian people, something that, of course, is unachievable. They also condemn the Iranian regime's not only the massacre, the 1988 massacre of 30,000 political prisoners, but as was said by others, the horrific praise for those events, describing them as either a positive historic event. And then the final point, which is critical actually, is they drew attention to the fact that the regime targets the members of the PMOI and the supporters of the PMOI for one reason and one reason alone, and that is fear. They fear the organization, they fear its members, and they fear the vast support that it has within Iran. So just to mention a few of the names of the US dignitaries, we have the Honourable Tom Ridge, who was a former Secretary of Homeland Security. We have the Honourable Robert Torricelli, who's a former US Senator. We have the Honourable Michael Mukasey, former US Attorney General. We have the Honourable Louis Freeh, Director of the FBI some time ago. We have a number of military and retired military personnel, including James L. Jones, as well as General Chuck Waleed, and there are many more. And then on the European side, dignitaries, including some of our amazing parliamentarians that we have here in the UK. We've got Bob Blackman MP. We've got the Right Honourable David Jones, the Honourable John Bercow, of course, who joins us, Lord Steve McCabe, Jim Shannon MP, Baroness O'Loon DBE. We've got Peter Altmaier, and then there is a long list of others. Thank you to all of them for everything that they do to draw attention to the Iranian regime's crimes. I just want to finish off very quickly by saying something that is clear to all of us, and that is the nature of the Iranian regime is now clear for the entire world to see. Even those who sought to close their eyes and turn the other way and pretend that the Iranian regime wasn't committing the crimes that it was can no longer hide. At home, the Iranian regime commits the most atrocious crimes, as was described, crimes against humanity, summary arrests, torture, rape, murders, executions. This is a daily event for Iranians. Sadly, that's not enough for this regime, because outside of its borders, it exports the same death, destruction and terror as it has inflicted upon the Iranian regime. Our sisters and brothers in Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Yemen and elsewhere across the region have suffered the same pain and atrocities as we, the Iranian people, have faced. And of course, even that is not enough, because the Iranian regime has also been interfering in the Ukraine. Again, an atrocity. Dame Villiers mentioned earlier also something that is critical to us, British citizens, which is that the Iranian regime represents a threat not just at home, but across all of Europe, including here in the United Kingdom. That is a very serious matter for a foreign state to seek to inflict violence upon people here based in the UK. We all have a message also for the Iranian regime. Your time is up. Your reign of terror will soon be over, and Iran will face a new dawn. At the same time, our job will not be over, because we will not rest for a second until every single member of this Iranian regime and everybody who has supported them in the crimes that they've committed in Iran are held to account and brought to justice wherever they may be. And not only that, this regime has stolen the entire wealth of the Iranian nation, one of the richest nations on the planet, to sow the seeds of crime and atrocities. The nuclear program was spoken about, on which tens of billions of dollars have been spent, when we have young Iranians and Iranian families living below the poverty line inside our country. And a message to the international community: the time for sitting on the fence is over. The days of appeasement are over. Appeasement is what has brought us to this place, the dangers that we face and the atrocities that are being committed. Also, the days of the ludicrous search for this non-existent moderate mullah are also over. It is time for a robust approach towards the Iranian regime, holding it to account for every single one of its crimes that it's committed. These heroes that were pointed out, their names read out, and some of their photos are held out here, they're not numbers. They're human beings, they're individuals, they're the best of the best that we have. And finally, the international community must put itself wholeheartedly behind support for the Iranian people and their right to resist against tyranny and oppression, as Daulat Nourouzi was saying earlier. My final message is this, that the message of the Iranian people is clear. We're not taking a backward step. No to the mullahs, no to the Shah.